Pete Talabach, and I work on rare and unusual motorcycles. I opened up my shop in December 1971. I've worked on motorcycles all across the country. I've worked on them from Boston to Los Angeles. I've worked on everything from pre-war Indians to modern Ducatis. I have loved motorcycles from my very earliest memory. I can remember being 3 or 4 years old, and the kid across the street had probably a Harley Davidson knucklehead or maybe a ULH flathead. And I would hear him start that thing and run down the center hall of our apartment and out onto the porch and watch him go down the street. And this is 3 or 4 years old. And I was just amazed, yeah. My first motorcycle was a 1955 Harley Davidson KHK. Your starter motorcycle wants to be light enough so that it does not intimidate you. If it's heavy enough so that you're worried about dropping it, you're not going to be focused on learning how to ride the motorcycle, you're going to be focused on not dropping it. So basically what you want is something small, light, and cheap.
What are the most common errors you find that weekend mechanics make?
Probably the biggest single thing is over-tightening things. They over-tighten stuff and they break bolts. Sidecar racing it's a funny thing. My wife and I went to the Isle of Man for the TT races in 1985 on our honeymoon. And we were in Ramsey as the first sidecar race was going off. And there's a footbridge that goes over the main street in Ramsey. Who was standing on the footbridge, and the sidecars would go 175 to 180 miles an hour. And they came onto the main street from the right, sliding around that corner, and went flying underneath us, and my wife's jaw just fell open, and she said to me, "We've got to do that." So it took her a couple of years to talk me into it. It's a team thing. It's like dancing, you know. Interaction between the passenger and the driver is critical to go fast. If either one makes a mistake, it costs you. You have to be able to screen all the stuff that's not critical to what you're doing. And that's one of the hardest things. When you're new at racing, you pay too much attention to a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. So in other words, where you are on the track, when to brake, how hard to brake, when to stop braking and turn, where to apex the corner, that stuff, that's what makes you fast. When it all works, it's magic.